Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this Sunday morning, this glorious Sunday morning, February 6, 2022. Let's take a deep breath in together, breathing in life and love, exhaling the same, inhaling again, peace and joy, gratitude, exhaling those same things out into the world, to all those we love, to all of humanity. Continue to breathe in deeply, breathing fully, breathing deeply, filling up the lungs, and then exhaling all of the air out, relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, calming our heartbeats. Allowing ourselves to sink down into our heart space. Allowing ourselves perhaps a more acute awareness of who and what we are. We are divine expressions, unique divine expressions, called to do particular work on this earth at this very time in our existence. And so we let go of all of the distractions around us, allowing them to become a part of this experience, being peaceful with all that is. Realizing that this peace that we are, this peace that we feel in this moment, is at our disposal at any time. This is our essence, and to it we may return. Just through our awareness, our consciousness. And through this awareness, we spread peace, harmony, and love throughout the world. Throughout the world. So we join together as one body, one Christ presence, one love. Not just with the people here in the room with me, but with all those who are hearing my voice, no matter where you may be. We are all one, as we are one with the divine, with the all-good. And so it is from this place, from this space which is our core, the who and what we are of life, that we now sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today's inspirational moment, 365 Science of Mind, and the word is source. The good things we seek from life are but echoes of the true self knocking at the door of consciousness. Everyone seeks an inward sense of certainty. We all seek an inner awareness of something greater than we are, something so complete that we find completion in it. Someone has said that the soul is homesick and that it cannot recover until it finds complete union with its source. Intuitively, we know that such a union with a source of power must exist. The source of life is an infinite sea of energy, power, love, and wisdom. That which connects us with the source is our inner life. Those thoughts and feelings that make up our consciousness. Through the spiritual practice of meditation, we are able to unite consciously with our infinite source and so allow the cosmic stream of good to flow to us in an unobstructed channel. Please repeat our affirmation with me 3 times. The cosmic stream of good flows through me in an unobstructed channel. The cosmic stream of good flows through me in an unobstructed channel. The cosmic stream of good flows through me in an unobstructed channel. Thank you so much.
think I'm thinking way too much. People say I'm in a rush, and nothing really gets real done. And I know that there's so much to do. In this life we save what time can't erase. So maybe I'll get out of bed, set some goals, get ahead, fill the shelf with books I've read. Ooh, 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 wonder what became of me, and what's up with this self-pity. I should focus on the love I see, 'cause I know that there's not really more. In this life we take what time can't erase. The future is grace. In this life we save what time can't erase. So maybe I'll get out of bed, build a birdhouse, bake some bread, reconsider things I've said. Very much. Like I said to you earlier, when you shared your Cabo San Lucas photos and your experience, my goodness, let's all go together. Thank you. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, great. Thank you so much.
The bus is leaving next week.
The long way there.
The long way. The scenic route. Every winter, the rains in the mountains of Angola stream down into Botswana, into the Kalahari Desert. They flood through the Okavango River and end up flooding into the Okavango Delta, which is the only inland delta in the world, and it is vast. And in this area, there are a number of prides of lions who have adapted very well to living in the water and in this delta. The water is there for about 7 months of the year, which is a very, very long time. Now, as some of you may know, cats aren't fans of water. Tigers do like being in water, and they cool off in the swamps, but that's a different level of water. Here in the Okavango Delta, the lions are often swimming in the water from island to island, because this area used to be, millions of years ago, it was a sea. And so there are various levels, and when that water streams in, you will see islands all over this delta in this huge area. And these lions, there are 4 prides now that are being studied, comprising about 41 lions. They have found have adapted to water living like no other lion ever has. And they have learned how to hunt, how to live, give birth, everything around this water area. They have even changed their behavior to the extent that they share hunting grounds with other prides, which is unheard of in other terrain. They've noticed that the lions have even a different kind of coat, that their hair seems to have adapted, and they're a little bit hairier with a softy, more downy coat in order to keep them warm, because they're in the desert, so at night it gets quite cold, so the water might be freezing at times. And so they are hunting and bringing their young through the water and catching antelope, elk, other animals in the water and having to drag water-soaked prey out of the water to the land in order to eat. They think that this adaptation has happened over several generations of lions, of prides. And they even now have witnessed brand new cubs running directly into the water without caution, without fear, and swimming or walking across to some of the other islands, which you don't see any other place. Science is now saying that it's probably not the strongest that survive, but it is the most adaptable species that survive. The ones who can change according to the changes in life, according to the changes in their environment. And this is a huge, huge change for an animal to adapt to. So they're not just in water above their paws, they're often in water up to their back, and you can only see their head or the top of their back as they're in the water, and sometimes they even have to swim because the water is that deep. It's just an impressive thing to watch. So the alternative to learning how to thrive in this environment was to leave that area altogether, which is hundreds of miles wide, and going to find other places to feed and to live that are populated by other lions, which is highly, highly dangerous. So they've decided to adapt in this area. They've even noticed that the young cubs will play in the water, in very deep water, because that's how they learn how to hunt and to catch prey in the water, by playing with each other. And they think nothing of being in very, very deep water there in that area. Next level living for them is learning how to live in that terrain, how to adapt, and not just survive, but to thrive in that area. So for us, when we're thinking about next level living, sometimes we have to adapt to an environment that we are creating just by the changes in our consciousness. Because once you change consciousness, then your world starts to change. The way you show up starts to change. And that may require you to adapt to living in a specific way that you've never lived before. For lions, hunting and playing is all a part of their daily living. Where they rest, how long they rest, how often must they hunt in order to have a successful kill, in order to feed. And our living is different. Like the king of the jungle, we have dominion over our world. We are top dogs, so to speak. And yet we live and adapt sometimes without remembering that. Without knowing that whatever the environment calls from, we have whatever it is we need to adapt to it. And not just to survive, but to thrive in it. And so as we're making choices about this next level living, What perhaps must we adapt to? What's going to shift? As we shift, the people in our lives shift and notice that we're shifting. And sometimes there's a friction there. Friction's not always negative. Friction can be positive. Friction's an opportunity for growth. Depends on how we look at it. And so how do we adapt our living? How do we adapt our thinking? How do we adapt our showing up so that we can truly step into this next level living, whatever it is we have decided that is, and live at this next level? And live at this next level. So as we change thoughts, then our behavior changes, our actions change. There may be things we need to rid our lives of. Perhaps it calls for a change in relationships, an ending of some relationships, a beginning of others. Perhaps the relationships we're in merely change because that is required by our living on a different level. In that delta, the other animals living amongst those lions adapted to the change in the lions. The animals that are prey run to as far out into the water as they can because they know it's harder work for the lion to come get them in deeper water. And so they retreat to the deeper waters, knowing that if a lion is really hungry, he may tire out before he can get to him and may abort a kill. They give birth now in different places than they would when the water is not there, because they have to be careful. The lions have learned how to move through the water quietly. So they're not just in the water swimming, they are swimming quietly. They're just as stealthy in the water as they are on land. They have learned how to tolerate the cold waters in order to get what they want. And the prey knows that. Everything has shifted in that delta because of the shift in the lions. And so our worlds do the same. When we shift, our worlds shift. Sometimes people go away, relationships go away on their own when we shift. We wonder what's happened. Where have they gone? Depending on the relationship, the person who's going away may not be able to get what they want from you now because you are now different. Perhaps there's no longer a codependency. And they've gone off to find somebody else they can play their games with because you're no longer playing. And then those moments as we get into next level living, when we have relationships coming and going, then we have an opportunity to grieve what we're losing, what is going away, and to celebrate what's coming in. To know that all of this is in the natural order of a shift in our lives. And it is all good. Perhaps we need to live differently. Perhaps our decision for a particular thing in next level living requires us to get up earlier, go to bed earlier, take on habits we didn't have before, be more organized. Perhaps we spend more time in prayer and meditation. Perhaps we're working on a new project and we have to spend time on that project. And then that means other things that you've decided are not as important to you anymore need to go away. And if you're engaging in those activities with other people, then there's a shift. Again, there's friction. People start wondering what's going on. Sometimes we're not even aware of what's going on. We just know we're different. We just know that a shift is happening. And we're not sure how we're different. We just know that we're showing up different. And we see that things are shifting in our lives. Sometimes I'm aware that I'm just more pensive when I'm going through a shift. And it may not have been a conscious decision that got me to the shift. It's just something I've decided that I don't want to do anymore or don't want to affirm in my life. Or I have made a conscious decision and something just feels a little different. I'm not reacting to the same things. Some of the things that were important before are no longer important. I'm not struggling with the same kinds of decisions. Things that seemed a big leap before now seem easy, seem a part of who and what I am. And so how much are we willing to change and adapt for what we're being called to? What are you truly willing to let go of? If something is going away, is there a feeling within you that you just want to get it back to where it was? Because that's what's comfortable. You feel that there's a difference in a relationship. And maybe there's a little bit more distance. And you're not comfortable with that distance. And so you want to run back and try to grab it and bring it back. Get back in the same old behaviors. Because that's the devil we know. And we're more comfortable with the devil we know than the devil we don't know. Are we resistant to what's new? The new behaviors? Are we surprised at ourselves because we have not embraced the new and you want to discount it? Say, oh, that was just a different day. That's not me. I don't know why I ate healthy today. That means I don't have to do it tomorrow. It's enough of that. How often do we want to run back to what's familiar, what we're used to? Because it's just a habit, just a habit, just a habit. We forget that we are the lions and that we have the power to adapt to whatever comes, even when the whole terrain changes, like in the Kalahari. Where they go from desert for a handful of months to a veritable sea of existence. The interesting thing is, throughout those about 7 months where they have those rains and the delta is flooded, that it often changes depending on how much rain there was coming. So this year, there might be less water than there is next year. And that means everything has to shift again. So the same way a lion hunted one year may not be how they can hunt and be successful the next year. Because there's just too much change, too much unpredictability. There's no way they can count on it to be the same all the time or from month to month. So how do we adapt at this next level as the weeks go by and as we step further and further into this next level living? How do we adapt? And are we constantly being aware of how things are shifting and moving? And are we paying attention? And are we seeking guidance? And are we seeking the information we need within ourselves? Or do we start to lose it and start look outside of ourselves? We start asking everybody that we know, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? I don't know, this is new. What would you do if you were me? Or do we trust ourselves and trust the calling that whatever came from us, we also have the ability to thrive within that consciousness, that new level? Some of us may still be playing with what the next level is, even though we've been talking about it since December. What's that about? Have you really decided on something, or are you still, that might be it, might not be it? I think I want to do that. Oh, I don't have time today. I don't have time this week. I don't have time next week. Maybe next month I'll start. Oh, I can't start it on a Thursday. I really should start it on a Monday. So I won't get it in gear now, because that would just feel kind of wonky to start it in the middle of a week. I often sit and I have these talks in my head about, am I going to get up and just do what I'm called to do at this next level, or am I still going to play around and do what I used to do? And there are times when I'm sitting there and having that conversation in my head. I could be up and at 'em right now. In fact, I could have gotten a lot done already this morning if I had just gotten up and gotten to it, rather than playing in my head about should I or shouldn't I? Should I eat breakfast first, or should I really get to it? Oh, maybe I should sit and read, or should I get to it? Oh, maybe I'll watch an episode of my TV show, and then I'll get to it. Oh, maybe I better check Facebook before I get to it. Maybe I should load the dishwasher before I get to it. I can find any number of reasons not to get to it. And I know I'm sitting there playing with getting to it, when I could have gotten to it hours ago. I did it yesterday for a couple of hours. Well, I don't know. If I change and put on my workout stuff now, and then I work out now, I might get hungry while I'm working out, and then I'm going to wish that I'd eaten breakfast. Maybe I should eat breakfast. Oh my gosh, I did that for about 2 hours. And finally, I just dropped everything I was doing, because I'm walking around doing all kinds of miscellaneous stuff that didn't need to be done. At the time, I'm thinking about doing it or not doing it, because I wasn't doing anything. I was really sitting in the chair contemplating doing something and doing nothing. I did that for quite a while yesterday morning, contemplating everything and nothing and getting nothing done. And finally I said, get to it, sister. And I went and put on my workout stuff and worked out. And then my day started. And then I got productive. And I could have been relaxed and enjoying the rest of my day, doing whatever it is I pleased a whole lot earlier if I had not spent that time lollygagging in my head. Lollygagging in my head, having this conversation about nothing. 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 I did it this morning too, but I only did it for 15 minutes. It's a whole lot better than the 2 hours I took yesterday. So I'm walking around doing stuff in the house, and finally, as I'm going through the living room for the third time, I said, drop what you're doing and go back and start your day. Because I don't want to be rushing to get here in the morning to start what I do here and then be in this state of frenzy because I procrastinated for so long in the morning, early morning. So what are we going to do? We have dominion, people. We have dominion. And I have to remind myself of that often. Often. Just as Providence would have it, we always have what we need when we need it, if we're looking and our eyes are open. So the daily word for today is dominion, and I get an email from Paul Hasselbeck, who actually puts out something called the Absolute Word, and he rewords the daily word into the terms of the absolute, using the language of oneness. So this is what it says about dominion. Claiming dominion, I stand in my authority. I am powerful because of my inherent divine dominion. I am the only one in charge of my thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Even as I work to change my circumstances, I remember in my consciousness I am not constrained by what is happening around me and to me. I use divine discernment and understanding together with divine will to guide my way, as well as choosing my best response in all situations. I should have said that 10 times yesterday morning. When I recognize any limiting thoughts, I affirm my divine identity and my personal sovereignty. In my mind, I am always free. I live with poise and confidence. I feel strength manifested from my divinity. Standing in my personal authority, I establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. Claiming dominion, I stand in my authority. I stand in my authority. I feel strength manifested from my divinity. Standing in my personal authority, I establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. I stand in my authority. I stand in my authority. We can each stand in our authority. Claiming dominion, knowing that we are indeed kings of the jungle, that we get to rule our worlds with personal sovereignty. It's a gift from the all-good. It's a gift from the all-good. And I can accept it or reject it. I rejected mine for a while yesterday morning. Just frittered about, doing whatever. Sometimes I want to fritter about. Sometimes I want downtime. Sometimes I want to lollygag, because rest is imperative to living a full life. And there are times when I need to get off of my duff and live as if I know I have dominion over my thoughts, words, and actions, and I have authority over me and my circumstances, and that I get to chart the course and I get to walk the walk. And nothing and no one can stop me but me. When the human mind has decided on something and steps forward in authority, nothing, no one can stop that person. Not a circumstance, and no one else in our lives, no matter how important you think they are to you. It could be an older sibling who has lorded over us all the days of our lives. They only have the power you give them. It could be a boss or a supervisor who is heavy-handed and intimidating. They can't stop you either if you decide that there's something else that you want. We are the only things in our way. We truly are. And sometimes we compromise because we forget that. Or we're not willing to bravely and boldly step into an existence we've never had before, into this next level living. And all of the changes that may come because of it. We are given everything we need to deal with whatever comes our way. Or else you would not be there. And so again, when you're in a circumstance and you wonder, what the heck is this? And why me? Remember, it's because of you. Because of who and what you are that you've been given that. And that is in your path. If it's yours, you have it. Whatever it is. And you can bring to bear whatever it is that you need in order to fulfill that mission. Whether it's a mission for a few moments, a few weeks, few months, few years. It's yours. It's yours. Dominion and authority. Dominion and authority. We are powerful, powerful, powerful beings. And as amazing as those lions are in that area, we were 1 billion times more powerful. Well, maybe not if you're on the Kalahari with them. Yeah. We are powerful, powerful beings, able to adapt to any situation if we will but know that we can adapt to it and make it ours. And as they say, kick butt and take names. Kick butt and take names. We were not created to survive. We were created to thrive. And we were given all the power and authority in order to do that. And yet so many of us live as if we are the prey, needing to run and hide, needing to be far less than we truly are. If you do nothing else, get right with what you think about who and what you are. If you don't do anything else, get right about that. How powerful you are, how magnificent you are, and everything else gets easy. Everything else gets easy. Everything else. Let's take this into meditation. So here in this moment, what is life asking you to adapt to? What are you facing that is causing you to doubt who and what you are? Is it a person? Is it a situation? Is it a project? Is it something you need to think through? Are you being called to show up in a different way? In a situation that you found yourself in again and again and again and again, but didn't shine your light? Is it something that seems so devastating that you don't know how you're going to live through it? Know that you are greater than any circumstance. And that what is before you is for you. For you. Whatever is before you is for you. And absolutely everything you need to navigate that situation, deal with that particular person, is within you, closer than your fingertips. And you can adapt and grow, take on new behaviors, new thoughts, new consciousness, new actions. Whatever it is, to thrive in this situation. In this next level living that you've been called to. So take a deep breath into it. Exhale. And we repeat in our heart of hearts that whatever is before us is for us. A gift for us. A gift for us. A gift for us. And we say yes and thank you. Yes and thank you. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. From this place of power and of certainty and of authority, we now lift the names for whom we want to pray.
Trey Johnson, John Dufalo, Bob Suffolk,
Alfred Jones and family.
All my siblings and our extended families.
For the Allen family. For Melissa and Cheryl. For Reba and Eddie and Ann. For Andrew, Luciana, and Blake. For Vicki and Calvin. For Georgette. For all of these beloved souls that we have named, and all those that we have not named, but who live in our hearts and in our minds as we go through our living. We know that they are whole, perfect, and complete. They too are unique expressions of the all good, and that they have within them to navigate whatever is before them. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. We know that the all good is also the source of all in our lives. And so we now celebrate our giving. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is.
All that we are is dust from stars, refined with fire, and cooled by love, yeah. And something inside says run and hide. Reach out those spiral arms to find that love. It can hurt, it can burn you, but it's the only way that we can learn how to give more, how to live more. Yes, it's raining down 'Cause all that we are is dust from stars, refined with fire, cooled by love. Oh, love, breathe it in now. Oh, love, breathe it in now. Oh, oh, love, breathe it in now. Breathe it in now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I want to say too, while I'm sitting here with a microphone in front of me, Kim, your message today just was so strong. So thank you for not diddling around and avoiding writing it and creating that, because there's such wisdom in there, and it just makes me it really hits. You know how some songs hit you, or some messages hit you, and it's like, bam, you just knocked me over. So thank you for getting off your duff and not lollygagging. Oh.
It's good to have you back. Good to have you back. Let's bless our offering. We are so deeply grateful for all the time, treasure, and talent that flows into this community, helping us to do the work that we are called to do here, spreading a message of peace, love, joy, unity, harmony, and prosperity. Amen. I have the first slide, please, Quinn. So your donor tax statements have been emailed. They went out Friday, so check your spam folders if you didn't see it in your inbox. So everyone who has donated money, they did receive a tax statement via email, okay? If you don't find it, let me know, and I can always print out a hard copy for you. Next, please. Don't forget to sign up for Amazon Smile. We are now on the electronic list for the as a valid 501c3. So Amazon will donate money for every purchase that you make, for every eligible purchase that you make. No extra money comes out of your pocket. Amazon does it all, and then quarterly we get money from them. So, and you can ask people that you know to sign up for it as well if you know others who are willing to do that. Okay? Our annual meeting is February 20, so in a couple of weeks. So after service, we will have food to eat. We will have food to eat here so that you're awake and vibrant and alive, and we are as well, the board and myself, as we do that meeting. So be with us on February 20. We're going to go through our 2022 strategic plan and financials, the budget, our new membership policy, and we're going to do the actual voting of the newly revised bylaws. They have been emailed out. They went out on the 26th of January 1st, and if you didn't open that email, then it was sent out again on the 29th. Check your email. I'll send them out again. And I need to get some hard copies in here in case you want a hard copy of them. I'll do that for next Sunday. But please look at those. If you are a voting member, it's important that you look at those bylaws, look at the changes that were made because we're voting on them. Those who are present will be doing this, we'll be streaming as well. So if you cannot be here in person, you can. I'll find a way for you to go ahead and send in your votes electronically as well, but we are going to be voting on those. Please look at them. If you are not a voting member, you are welcome to be a part of the discussion if you have questions. However, you can't vote unless you're a voting member. Okay, but you can ask questions about it, and if you have concerns, let us know what they are. Okay? The other thing I wanted to tell you is I'm very, very excited that we will now have a full-time pianist here starting April 1. So Stefan Carlson, who was here with us on December 26th when Lainey was here, is our new pianist. I'm very, very excited about that. He'll be here on February 20 because I'd like him to introduce him to everybody. And he will also be here for 2 dates in March, and then he'll start every Sunday starting in April. So he's a big deal. He's very, very well known. He's played at the Balcony Club in Dallas, won numerous awards both in college and outside as a professional jazz musician, and he's just extremely talented. I've had some great conversations with him, and I'm just very excited about him being on board. So we will have music, music, music all the time. Also, this month of February only, I'll be teaching Alexis Rice's class at Unity of Dallas on Mondays at 12 noon, so 12 to 1. So if you'd like to come by and be a part of that, I'll be talking about peace and living peace. So just I think it's 4 Mondays in February. So from 12 noon, and that's on Forest Lane between between Hillcrest and Preston Roads on the north side of Forest Lane. So come join me if you're free. And now Mission and Vision. Coffee house, you can do that part. Her name is, so our artist for the coffee house is coming Saturday. Thank you for reminding me. Her first name is Brigitte, and I'm sorry I forget her last name. Robin Hackett is a good friend of hers. She's a wonderful, wonderful musician. We're going to have a great time. Please come and join us at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Of course, we'll have snacks, popcorn, and stuff to drink, and just a great time with fellowship and great music here in our beautiful little sanctuary, and you're not going to want to miss it. Every single concert we've had has been wonderful. So we'll see you Saturday night.
Okay, we're going to do the mission and vision statement. So everybody join in, please. Our mission, we are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. We're a thriving global community of spiritual seekers transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Everything is always working out for us. Thank you.
And I do have the skinny on our performer for this Saturday. Her name is Brigitte Rideau. She's a jazz, R&B, soul, and funk artist. She's a New Orleans native. Her first CD release, The Opportune Time, afforded her the chance to do something she loves to do, which is to sing and tell the story of her life through her extraordinary voice to appease the appetite of jazz enthusiasts and lovers of real live music. This critically acclaimed songstress has defined an amazing legacy, has been a trailblazer throughout the DFW Metroplex when it comes to preserving the rich cultural heritage of traditional jazz music. According to the Dallas Morning News, Miss Rideau is one artist who's worth searching out. With her deep, resonant voice and her total command of jazz and soul, she's one of the area's most promising singers. With her first CD release, The Opportune Time, back in 2003, Brigitte has garnered critical acclaim not only from local publications and internet sources, but also from international institutions. By the invitation of Dr. Jean Cho, PhD Regents Professor, University of North Texas, Brigitte has performed and lectured at Shanghai Conservatories, Shanghai, China, in the spring of 2005. She's made history as the first woman of color jazz artist from the United States to attend there. She's one artist who has accepted her true gift and is committed to releasing the power of music to live audiences all over the world, and even back here in the great state of Texas. Her resume has continued to be filled with onstage opportunities, coupled with dynamic collaborations from as far off as Paris, France, to the forever thriving stage of Dallas, Texas. So you're not going to want to miss this. 7 p.m. this Saturday. Gee, you never know who's going to show up at Unity Spiritual Center on a second Saturday. So I'll see you that Saturday night. And what's next, sir? I'm lost. And we are done. Thank you for being here, spending your time at the most wonderful place on a Sunday morning. I love you. I bless you. Have a glorious Sunday and a glorious week. Namaste. Namaste.